Artists say that you're doing something wrong if you're not embarrassed by your old work. And that's why, as a white gay who could always afford to be taken down a few pegs, today I'll be embarrassing myself with Sorry I'm Not Sorry, my self-produced album that I made my freshman year of college. Did I have the musical knowledge, recording experience, or the desire to study either? No. But what I did have was hair product-related forehead acne, a liver-damaging supply of Coke Zero vanilla, and barely an original thought in my head that wasn't corrupted by 19 years of white privilege. Today, we'll be cracking open this CD to dive into my bottom-of-the-barrel branding, barely thought-out lyrics, and so many layers of auto-tuned vocal harmonies that it would give Imogen Heap a traumatic head injury. Today, I'm staring down the barrel of my own critical eye for a Nick D-flavored installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite creator content, TV and movies, and we shatter it like my dreams of being a recording artist, to look at each individual clip and decide, no sweetie, go back home. And today we're doing it again, diving right back into my personal creative archives, just as we did when we reviewed my film Vanilla County. Yes, as a teen I wasn't just... That's where they belong. You see, as a teen, I wasn't just an aspiring filmmaker. I was also aspiring to be literally just Lady Gaga. I wanted to be the male Lady Gaga. And also just famous. I wanted to get on TV so I could annoy the masses any way that I could. If I could tell you how many times I applied to be on MTV's True Life in the early thousands, you would think I was insane. And that level of delirium definitely extended into my would-be music career, but before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more stuff from my past on Clip Breakdown. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I'm warming up my vocals to tell you to come watch a video. I think the first thing we gotta do is acknowledge the fact that not only did I make an album and recorded it, but I also ordered 100 copies of this CD. Yeah, CDs weren't completely obsolete 10 years ago. I did the whole thing. There's liner notes in here. They're shrink wrapped with retail ready UPC codes. I guess I was just on the cutting edge of self-publishing music, you know? So cutting edge that nobody wanted it and no one touched it. I remember I sold enough copies of this album to one day take $20 out of the ATM and buy beer in college on a very desperate night when I had maxed out my mom's credit card. Ugh, I sound the worst right now. Let's see if it sounds the worst in here too. We gotta do an unboxing first, so let's bust into this shrink wrap. Also, you'll notice I went by the stage name Nick D, you know, for purposes. Everyone had a different name than their real name at the time. Lady Gaga is the example I knew of, but obviously stage names were a thing well before that. If an alien had come down and talked to me when I was 19 years old, they would have thought that Lady Gaga created the universe and invented music. And then they would have just vaporized me because I put on way too much cologne. So anyway, the album is called Sorry I'm Not Sorry, Parental Advisory Required. I did this little photo shoot outside my dad's garage. And I wasn't against a brick wall. This was all my own photoshopping. Can you tell that I'm completely photoshopped there? I said, what? I really have the textureless skin of a watercolor painting. Why are you mad that I have the complexion of whipped cream melting? And then, I'm sorry, any graphic designers out there are gonna cringe. Can we just look at my early Photoshop skills? Like, this is broke-ass nasty. That's my dog, Vinny, at the time. He was the best dog. And all of my socials, they all said Nick D official. Girl, I was going for it. In my mind, I was just waiting for this to skyrocket so that I could quit my amazing opportunity of being at New York University. I was ready to quit. Oh no. I hate this. I'm reading this and I hate it. I wrote a whole letter. Oh, there's a quote on the CD. This is too much. This CD that you're holding is called Sorry I'm Not Sorry because nobody should feel the need to explain themselves. Magical. Wow, you're really smart. How long do you think it took me to write this? 5 seconds? Sins. Oh, that's the abbreviation of Sorry I'm Not Sorry. Sins is one way in which I've worked with some of my own ideas, but I could not have done it alone. Sorry I'm Not Sorry is one way in which I've worked with some of my own ideas. Sorry I'm Not Sorry is one way I have worked with some of my own ideas. Obviously, you made it. This whole thing is your idea. That's why we're sitting here today, bro. I sincerely thank my family above all else for their unwavering love and support in all that I do. That's still true, that's sweet. What a nice boy. Just as importantly, This album would be nothing without the bomb-ass skills demonstrated by my friend and musical inspiration, Ducky. That's my friend from college who is still a very successful musician. I had them feature on this album, so we'll get there. Both through their technical prowess and their passion for helping independent artists. Girl, is this my commencement speech? Like, why are you using every word? This is the inside of your CD. To all of my friends and everyone who gives this music a listen, thanks so much. All my love, Nick D. To anyone who gives this music a listen, let's give it a listen. Oh, but did you guys get a full picture there of all of the pictures? These are my favorite selfies at the time. I did take all of these pictures myself, although I wanted you to think they were professional photos. I'm sitting in an old haunted bedroom or leaning against a railing in Boston. She tried to be sexy. Look at his arms above her head. And then that's me in my dad's basement looking like I have like a full-on hand up my ass. Full-on hand up my ass. That'll be the name of my next album. Check out the link in this description. We're only going to be listening to clips of this music here, but I put the whole thing on SoundCloud down below. So if you want to hear the full masterpiece, it's there for you, but don't feel compelled. It's so weird holding a CD. Do you guys remember these? Gen Z is like, ooh, coasters. No consistency in the fonts there, just doing whatever. And then there's a quote from Oscar Wilde at the bottom. It says, "It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious." Oscar Wilde. Ask me how many Oscar Wilde books I had read by this point in my life. The answer is 0. I just literally Googled Oscar Wilde quotes because I knew he was gay, I knew he liked to be unique, and I knew I was gay and I loved to be unique. Oh, and if you want one of these shrink-wrapped babies, stay tuned till the end. I'll let you know how you can win one. Literally historical artifacts. You're welcome. Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but I have merch available for those who are interested, as well as a brand new Patreon where you can sign up for membership benefits for as low as $1 a month and get exclusive content and bonus stuff from me. So this first song we're gonna look at is called There You Go, my opening track. And I actually like this one probably the most out of all of the others. Basically, for tracks 2 through 10, I was learning GarageBand. Yes, this was all made in GarageBand with like a karaoke mic I was holding in my hand. A lot of the songs towards the end just sound noisy, like noise. But by the time I recorded There You Go, which was the last one I came up with, I think that my style had become a little more clean, a little more pared down, but I'm not saying it's great. Let's listen.
Oh, hey bro, what you doing today? Cause if you're sitting at home, you should be hitting replay. Brown bagging my badness as if I was cost cutting. Do I hear any objections? Nope, nothing.
Actually, I object to that line about brown bagging your badness because at best it means absolutely nothing, and at worst it means that you're boasting about not being able to afford hot lunch today. I don't see why either of those are the first thing you're talking about on your record. Wouldn't you want that line to make sense to people?
Since the 7th damn grade, I've been running these legs when they flew me up to LA to shoot TV segments.
While this line is based in reality, I was on TV in 7th grade, the song fails to mention that I did it dressed like a trash bag full of lawn rakings, which I think would have added some glamour to this. This whole thing is basically me trying to sound cooler than I ever was. I spent, what, like 2 semesters drinking malt liquor in some dingy dorm rooms, and then I came back from summer vacation like, oh, culture, New York, sipping on the wines and the fruits of the world. Like, no, sir, but you have learned what crabs feels like, so if that's why, make a song about that. You can tell in a lot of these songs that I was just making up the words as I went, like line by line. Now I know with song structure, it makes more sense for a song to like, oh, verse 1 is the past, verse 2 is the present, verse 3 is the future, or something where there's a through line and is written out like a poem all at once. I just wanted to do one line at a time to find things that made me sound cool.
I don't need to hear about the odds against me. I'm not a calculator. Statistics don't offend me.
The calculator is like, statistics don't offend me either, sweetie. Do I look offended that you're the 1 out of 5 gays this year that want to be Lady Gaga? Can you tell that I didn't have any math prerequisites as an art student? I was like, calculator, statistics, perfect, that's a line. Also, I think my lisp has gotten better over the years because I had a hard time recording that. I was like, statistics don't offend me. It was hard to sing, but I did it. And here's the chorus, which I don't know if I stand by this. It sounds okay, I guess.
Oh, there I go. Making it bigger than you ever expected. You thought I'd get bored and you thought I'd neglect it. Now I'm winning awards and I'm winning respect like, oh, there I go. Making it harder than you ever imagined. Coming up the north, a homosexual cannon like, oh.
Apparently I felt my personality aligned so much with that of a gay canon that I had to put that in my chorus. I said, ooh, yeah, we both got big gaping holes. Don't act like you are a Union soldier fighting for freedom. You are just a hairless young gay trying to figure out which brand of cough medicine got you the most high. Next up, we'll jump down to the song Before You Get Home. This was supposed to be my boom, 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 tell the man what's up. If you don't respect me as your girl, then I'll be gone before you even get home. That's the vibe here. Ask me how many relationships I'd been in at this point in my life. 0. What am I talking about? Don't know.
Because you're always flying up, and I got a new rule. Every time you got a comment, you can save it for you too.
Okay, my comment is how you're screaming all of your song lyrics at me like somebody threw away your stash of 17 magazines. Why are you biting my head off? I'm just trying to listen to your music. I was trying very hard to seem like a hip young millennial at the time. I was talking about blogs, YouTube on this thing. I loved the internet. I still like it, but I'm also aware of how racist it is out here, so don't love that. I thought that this was like peak songwriting though, my chorus. I had to really let this sink in for you. I wanted you to hear every word I'd come up with.
Dream on, write it on your blog, cause nobody else cares, nobody else cares. Dream on, write it on your blog.
Listen, I don't think I'm gonna take advice on what people care about from the guy who ordered 100 copies of the CD that are still collecting dust. Also, how sassy did I think I was being? I said, oh, hi. I said, dream on, write it on your blog. Like, that was my insult. I was like, go write it on your blog because nobody else cares. Is that a good burn? I thought it was at the time. I'm not sure about it anymore. Like if someone said something that you didn't want to hear, if you were like, save it for your blog. Oh, that sounds good actually. Either way. Great chorus, Nick. Love that for you. Ooh, okay. This next number is called Dressed Like You. This actually did have a muse, a gay romantic muse. I had a huge crush on a guy named Chris B, we'll say, Crispy. His name was Crispy. He was an M&M. No, he was a pilot. He got his pilot's license at the school near my house, and I thought that was so cool. He was an older gentleman. I met him when I was 17, and he was like 25, and I thought, okay, I'm ready to be a married woman. I had all of these dreams. I was like, he's gonna put me in an airplane and fly me to Florida, where we can go to Disney. Like, reel it in. Reel in your thoughts and expectations for this world because you're about to have a hard dose of reality in the form of addiction. Anyway, this song is very much about him and it works. Like listening to this song, I get the same feeling of excitement I had the time that he basically texted me and said he wanted to hang out. I was obsessed with this guy. I wanted to spend all my time with him. He did not want to spend all of his time with me. He spent this one time with me and I think I thought about it for a really long time, but it probably wasn't a big deal with him.
I had a feeling you would throw me back in time, and here I am, and guess what? I don't even mind. No, I don't even mind. That's right, I don't even mind.
Wait, but do you mind at all? Like, are you keeping it in mind? Are you being mindful? Just let me know at your own leisure. I said, I don't know how to get the pre-chorus done, so let's just say the same thing 3 times. Even the greatest songwriters sometimes don't know what they're saying. Like Mozart, for example, he wasn't even speaking English. If you listen to the song in full, I'm like telling the story of me being at the club with him, or I met him and his friends out at this club in Manchester, New Hampshire on their under 21 night when I could actually get in. And his friend peed on my foot when we were talking outside smoking cigarettes. She had to pee by the car, so she squatted and peed on the ground, and it drizzled on my foot. But me at the time, I was like, oh my god, your friends are so much fun. Do you want to hang out tomorrow? He's like, no, I don't. Okay, next up we have the song Frozen Raspberries. This is literally a nothing song. Like, this means nothing. I don't know what I was going for here. I wanted to portray a narrative that when I walked into that under 18 club, everyone was like, oh, there's Nick. We are gonna talk about him. And I was like, I'm above it all, I don't care. So basically it's a big song of me bragging about how I think I'm cooler than everybody and how I thought I had enemies that didn't exist.
It's a sweet deal, chewing frozen raspberries. I feel sweet here, collecting gifts from all these Jerrys and Joshes and Justins and Jacksons and Joes. Just show me some love, I'll throw it back on you hoes.
I just cringed so hard that I can actually taste blood. What am I reading off? A list of men who might have given me the syphilis?
Whoa, it all goes to show what happens when you
Wow, you're so wise after 2 semesters of college. Does Colt 45 have omega-3s in it? Why is there like a robotic worm in the background of that song being like the bass line is very cringy. I'm like, ooh. Ooh, next is the song Green Light, a song that I dedicated to all of my friends back in New York. You know when it's like your 3rd week of college and you're like, I've just met the coolest people on earth. I have the best friends in the world. We're so original because we go out drinking on the weekends and we don't care about school. Like, no honey, that's called being 18. It's the same everywhere. This song was dedicated to how much we love to do whatever we wanted.
Flash me the green light, 'cause we be going all night. And we hate everything that looks like a stop sign.
You only feel that way because you failed driver's ed twice. I hate that I'm like, we be going all night. Like, when would I ever say that in real life? We be going all night. That's not how I talk. If I could go back and teach younger me anything about songwriting, not that I know so much now, but if I could tell anything from looking at this, it's like, make the song sound more like your voice, not like Lil Wayne's voice or whatever. Also, I just said Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, come on in now from playing in the hoop yard. I really thought I was gonna be like a gay rapper. I was trying to be Caswell. I wanted to be so many things. I wanted to be like gay famous, pop star of the world, breaking mainstream, going niche, like what, you can't have it all. But I was trying to rap. That much we do know. Oh, y'all, don't let me rap.
Now I see a strange enough, you can't avoid that. I love your Lower East Side and me, number back that pedal to the metal like vroom, vroom. A Kawasaki rave jumping ninja make vroom.
Yeah, I called myself a Kawasaki rave jumping ninja. By that I meant liberal studies student with poorly managed depression. Also I said NYC is strange and yup, you can't avoid that. Yup. Why did I sound like Goofy from Disney in that? NYC is strange? Oh yup, you can't avoid that. I love your Lower East Side and mean upper back tat. I didn't know one person with an upper back tat. I didn't even live at the Lower East Side at that point. I was just confused between the East Village and the Lower East Side. But apparently, according to this album, I was like, I am the baddie of New York who is everything you ever wanted. Also, as I mentioned, my friend Ducky was featured on this album. This is probably my biggest embarrassment of the whole thing, that I brought somebody else into this. So I'm so honored that they would even agree to be on this album.
You can rock the mic like a rock 40 ounce. Down in Mass and Mouse makes my kitty wanna pound.
Ducky, I understand whatever it is you feel like you need to do to distance yourself from this verse. Change your name. Stage a car crash. Just get as far away from me as you possibly can before I make you meow again. I don't think that was my idea though, so thank goodness. Next up is a song called Ricochet. This would have been the first one that I recorded in like the little quiet study rooms down underneath my dorm. I was in the freshman dorm, NYU 3rd North. If anyone goes there or knows there, let me know. This song I think was supposed to be about a relationship based on poor communication. Again, no relationships at this point, so I don't know what I was talking about.
I can see your eyes, your heart is static, so I can't get through. I can read your mind, as get matter, matter, matter. I can tell how deep down you want me, but you're never gonna get me. Your signal's bouncing away, off the wall and ricochet. Off the wall and ricochet.
Was my goal to sound like an answering machine that magically came to life? I think Kesha and Lil Wayne had me thinking that auto-tune sounded so cool when it really just made me sound like a computer virus. I can see your eyes as they get madder, madder, madder. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little frustrated because you keep saying the same word 3 times to finish your verse. Obviously, I wasn't as worried about the songwriting part of this or like playing piano part of it as I was about, I think, just vocal production. Like I loved layering the vocals, coming up with different harmonies. I loved balancing the mix of the whole song to kind of sound professional. I would just be listening to songs all the time and be like, oh, they're doubling their vocals here. Oh, they're doing a bass here. And looking back on it, I'm like, okay, it doesn't sound that bad, but it's also barely original music. It's a lot of GarageBand loops being used in there with me being like doo 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 in between. It's very non-musical. I just wanted to be a performing artist, so I didn't need the production.
And then you go and yell, so all I hear is feedback. So over and out now, and that is the end of that.
I agree. We are done here because you just used 4 bars to announce the ending of your sentence. Is that really, that's the way you want to go? Over and out now, and that is the end of that. Like that just reeks of I have another few beats to fill here and I don't know what to say. That is the end of that. Next up is a song called Rotten Wood, which I think was my attempt to be so cute. Like I really thought I was just charming the men's.
Meet up at the rink with roller blades. Don't feel like talking, but tonight I wanna go for a skate. And then you can buy me beer.
to go to the skate for some fun skating. What kind of quirky dirky Zoe Deschanel disaster was I trying to portray with this? I didn't like roller skating at a roller rink. Why was I proposing these like cutesy date ideas? No one was asking me. No one was asking me. I think that's the real takeaway here. Next is the song Sorry, I'm Not Sorry. This was basically an afterthought because I realized I needed a title track. It's weird that we have the same haircut still. Have I not changed my hair? Girl. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Sorry, I'm not sorry for anything I've ever done. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm never giving up the gun. Mistaken guidelines for actual guardrails. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm forging a trail. So sorry, I'm not sorry. And sorry, that'll never be. Sorry, I'm not sorry. And everything I want, I need.
Ew, I hated that. I'm not proud of this song at all. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I think that was supposed to be like what my brand was all about. It's like, I do whatever makes me happy. Whatever, man, I'm all about me. I don't know why I thought that was a cool outlook to have. It's like, doesn't sound super helpful to the people around me, but mistaking guidelines for actual guardrails. Mistaking guidelines for actual guardrails. Like, I see what I was doing there. I was trying to be like, don't let these invisible barriers keep and control your life, but like, even me saying that just now got the message across better than mistaking guidelines for actual guardrails. The guardrails are down, you're flying off a cliff, honey. There are no guardrails keeping this on the road. Ooh, the last song that I have here is called Your Family. This one is about my hypothetical boyfriend in this world. Again, this is all fiction. This has no basis in reality, which is another, like the most annoying part. If I had even just made these a little more personal, it would feel like real art to me, but it's basically just sounds, trying to sell sounds. But anyway, my hypothetical boyfriend in this, his family doesn't like me. I don't know if it's because of it's like a gay thing. I guess I imagined he was like, this is a fantasy by the way, but in my head it was like I was in a relationship with this hot guy who came from like a traditional family. They were okay with him being gay, but not this kind of gay, not my type of gay or whatever. Either way, I wanted to feel protective, like I was basically like, choose me or your family, which I realize now is a dumb, immature thing to say.
Well, if your cousins and your brothers wanna throw me away, hey, yeah, I don't know what to say. And if your mother had her druthers, then you get down and pray, hey, yeah, to wish me away.
If your mother had her druthers, do you ever think about including words or phrases that people actually use, Mother Goose? I'm like, indubitably we sing now and everyone loves the song. No, not really.
Give me a chance and also everyone. I'm not the worst thing you've done. I'm not the worst thing you've done.
The only reason this isn't the worst thing you've done is because of that lady you injured with your car. So it's a narrow miss, okay? Also, the worst part about this is that same saxophone loop going in the background. There's like, 19-year-old Nick, don't act like you know what jazz is. You can't put a saxophone loop in your song. You don't even know what a saxophone looks like. Is it the long one?
If you think this might work out, please don't go too far. Be my electric guitar.
Nick, you don't even know how to play guitar. What are you gonna do with an electric guitar? Use the strings to make wire jewelry? There are some other interesting tracks on here. You guys have to hear Talk. That was a really fun one to make. Check them all out if you're interested in hearing the full discography. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this personal look into the past. If you're interested in winning one of these, I don't know, 7 copies, I'll do that one too, 8 copies of Sorry, I'm Not Sorry. Just include the CD emoji in your comment below and I'll pick 8 of you and I'll ship it off. If you want to see me dive into more of my past creative works, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up to let me know. Also, if you're new here, I'd love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so click those notification bells and you'll always be the first to know when I burn you a fresh disc. Also, I've got merch and a Patreon where you can sign up to get exclusive content and bonuses from me. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for being my electric guitar. I will see you next time.